What if I told you you could be smiling every day and still be silently battling depression? Not everyone who is depressed looks broken. Some of them look just like you. Sometimes the loudest cry for help is the silence no one notices. If you've been feeling off lately, this might be more than just a bad mood. Depression doesn't always come with tears. Sometimes it comes with a smile that hides everything. First and foremost, what is depression? Depression is not just sadness. It's not just having a bad day or feeling a little down. Depression is a deep, silent struggle where a person feels constantly low, empty, or emotionally drained, even when they can't explain why. It affects your thoughts, your emotions, your energy, and your ability to live life fully. It slowly steals your joy, your motivation, and sometimes even your sense of self. And the most painful part, many people fighting depression look completely fine on the outside. So, how do you know if you or someone around you might be struggling with depression? Let's talk about the signs. Emotional signs of depression. 1. Persistent sadness or low mood. It's not just feeling sad. It's waking up with a heaviness you can't explain. Nothing terrible may have happened, but your heart feels weighed down anyway. The smile you show people feels forced. The laughter doesn't reach your soul. And no matter what you do, distraction, sleep, music, conversations, that quiet sadness follows you. Everywhere. It lingers. It stays. It becomes a part of your everyday life. 2. Feeling empty or numb inside. This one is even harder to explain. Because you're not crying. You're not even sad sometimes. You just feel nothing. Like your emotions have been switched off. Like you're existing, but not really living. Moments that should excite you feel flat. Moments that should hurt barely touch you. It's a strange kind of silence inside your soul. And it can feel more frightening than pain itself. 3. Hopelessness about the future. You stop looking forward to things. The future no longer feels like an opportunity. It feels like something you're just dragging yourself into. You begin to think, what's the point? Will anything ever change? Is this all life is going to be? Dreams that once gave you energy now feel unrealistic or out of reach. And slowly, you stop believing that tomorrow can be better than today. 4. Constant feelings of worthlessness. There's a voice in your head that never seems to go quiet. It tells you that you're not enough, not smart enough, not strong enough, not important enough. Even when people appreciate you, you struggle to believe them. You compare yourself constantly. You feel like you're falling behind in life. And no matter how much you try, it feels like you will never measure up. 5. Excessive guilt over small things. You blame yourself for everything. Little mistakes feel huge. Things that others would forget easily stay in your mind for hours, even days. You replay conversations. Why did I say that? I shouldn't have done that. I always mess things up. Even things that are not your fault. You somehow find a way to carry the blame. It's exhausting, carrying guilt that was never yours to begin with. 6. Loss of interest in things once enjoyed. The things that once made you feel alive slowly lose their meaning. Your favorite music doesn't hit the same. Your hobbies feel like a chore. Being around people feels draining instead of joyful. It's not that you don't want to enjoy them. You just can't. The excitement fades. The passion disappears. And you're left wondering, what happened to me? Why don't I feel anything anymore? Mental signs of depression. 1. Overthinking and negative thoughts. Your mind never rests. Even in quiet moments, your thoughts keep running. You replay conversations. You overanalyze every word, every action. You question things that didn't even matter before. And somehow, your mind always drifts to the negative. What if I messed up? What if they don't like me? What if everything goes wrong? It feels like being trapped in your own head. A place that never gives you peace. 2. Difficulty concentrating or making decisions. Simple things start to feel complicated. You read something and forget it instantly. You try to focus, but your mind keeps drifting away. Even making small decisions becomes exhausting. What should I do? What if I choose wrong? What if I regret it? So you hesitate. You overthink. And sometimes you do nothing at all. Not because you're lazy, but because your mind feels overwhelmed and tired. 3. Constant self-doubt. No matter what you do, it never feels like enough. You question yourself constantly. Am I good enough? Did I do that right? Do I even deserve this? Even when you succeed, you feel like it was luck. Even when people believe in you, you struggle to believe in yourself. It's like your confidence has been replaced by a voice that never stops doubting you. 4. Feeling like a burden to others. You start to feel like your presence is too much. Like your problems are too heavy for anyone to carry. So you keep things to yourself. You stop opening up. You stop asking for help. You start saying things like, I'm fine. Even when you're not. Because deep down, you don't want to inconvenience anyone. You don't want to feel like a weight in someone else's life. So you carry everything alone. 5. Thoughts of failure or not being enough. It feels like no matter how hard you try, you're always falling short. You look at your life, and all you see are things you haven't achieved. You compare yourself to others, and feel like you're behind, stuck, lost. And slowly, you start believing a painful lie. That you are a failure. That you are not enough. Not successful enough. Not strong enough. Not worthy enough. And that belief can quietly destroy how you see yourself. 6. dark or intrusive thoughts. Sometimes, your mind goes to places you don't even want to visit. Thoughts that scare you. Thoughts you didn't choose. Thoughts that feel heavy and uncomfortable. They come suddenly and linger longer than they should. And you may not even understand why you're thinking them. But here's the truth. Having these thoughts does not make you a bad person. It means your mind is overwhelmed and struggling to cope. Physical signs of depression. 1. Constant tiredness or low energy. You wake up already tired, not the kind of tired that sleep can fix, but a deep, overwhelming exhaustion that sits in your bones. Even the simplest things feel heavy. Getting out of bed feels like a battle. Taking a shower feels like a task. Living through the day feels like work. And people may say, just rest. But they don't understand. You're tired of resting and still feeling tired. 2. Sleeping too much or insomnia. Your relationship with sleep changes. Sometimes, sleep becomes your escape. You sleep for hours, not because you're well rested, but because being awake feels harder. Other times, sleep refuses to come. You lie awake at night, staring into the darkness, with a mind that won't slow down. Thoughts keep racing, worries keep growing, and no matter how exhausted you are, peaceful sleep feels out of reach. 3. Changes in appetite, eating too much or too little. Food stops being normal. You may lose your appetite completely, forgetting to eat, or feeling like nothing is worth eating. Or the opposite happens. You eat more than usual, not out of hunger, but to fill an emotional emptiness. Either way, it's not about food anymore. It's about trying to cope with something deeper inside you. 4. Unexplained body aches or headaches. Your body starts to speak what your heart cannot explain. Headaches that come without warning. Body pains with no clear cause. Tension that sits in your shoulders, your neck, your chest. You may go from one solution to another, but nothing seems to fully fix it. Because the pain isn't just physical. It's emotional pain, finding its way into your body. 5. Feeling physically heavy or slow. Everything feels heavier. Your body moves slower. Your steps feel dry. Your energy feels drained before you even begin. It's like carrying an invisible weight that no one else can see. Even when you want to move forward, your body struggles to follow. And you start to wonder, why is everything so hard for me? Behavioral signs of depression. 1. Withdrawing from friends and family. You slowly start pulling away from the people who care about you. Not because you don't love them, but because you don't know how to explain what you're feeling inside. Calls go unanswered. Messages stay unread. Conversations feel exhausting. And even when you're around them, you feel distant. So you begin to disappear quietly, hoping no one notices how much you're struggling. 2. Avoiding social activities. Things you once looked forward to start to feel like pressure. Going out feels overwhelming. Being around people feels draining. You start making excuses. I'm tired. I'm busy. Maybe next time. But deep down, it's not about time. It's about not having the emotional energy to show up and pretend everything is okay. So you choose isolation. Not because you want to be alone, but because it feels easier than explaining your pain. 3. Loss of motivation to do daily tasks. Even the smallest tasks begin to feel like mountains. Getting out of bed, cleaning your space, replying messages, taking care of yourself. Things that once felt normal now require so much effort. You tell yourself, I'll do it later. But later never comes. Not because you're lazy, but because your mind and body feel completely drained. 4. Ignoring responsibilities. You begin to fall behind on things that once mattered to you. Work, school, commitments. They all start to feel overwhelming. Deadlines pass. Tasks pile up, and instead of facing them, you avoid them because every responsibility feels like pressure you can't carry right now. And the more you avoid, the heavier the guilt becomes. 5. Spending more time alone than usual. You find yourself alone more often, not always by choice, but because it feels safer. Safer than explaining your feelings. Safer than being misunderstood. Safer than pretending to be okay. But in that silence, your thoughts grow louder. And even though you're alone, you don't always feel at peace. Sometimes, you just feel more alone than ever. Hidden and signs of depression. 1. Smiling in public but hurting inside. You learn how to wear a smile. Like a mask. To the world, you look fine. You laugh, you talk. You show up. People may even say, you seem so happy. But they don't see what happens when you're alone. They don't hear the silence. They don't feel the heaviness. Because behind that smile is a heart that is quietly hurting. And the hardest part, no one checks on you because they think you're okay. 2. Pretending to be okay when you're not. I'm fine. You say it so often. It almost feels real. But it's not. It's easier than explaining. Easier than breaking down. Easier than feeling like no one will understand. So you keep it in. You hide the pain. You act normal. And slowly, you become an expert at hiding what's breaking you inside. 3. Feeling disconnected from reality or people. Sometimes, it feels like you're not fully here. Like you're watching life happen. Instead of living it, you're around people, but you don't feel connected. Conversations feel distant. Moments feel unreal. It's like there's an invisible wall between you and the world. And no matter how hard you try, you can't seem to feel present. 4. Sudden anger or irritability. Depression doesn't always show up as sadness. Sometimes it shows up as anger. Small things irritate you. You snap without meaning to. You feel frustrated, even at yourself. And afterward, you may feel confused or guilty, because that's not who you really are. But deep down, that anger is coming from pain. Pain you haven't been able to release. 5. Loss of purpose or direction in life. You start to feel lost. Things that once gave your life meaning no longer feel important. You question everything. Why am I here? What am I even doing with my life? Does any of this really matter? You feel stuck, like you're moving but going nowhere. And without purpose, even the simplest days begin to feel empty. Serious warning signs of depression. 1. Talking about wanting to disappear. Sometimes the pain becomes so heavy that the idea of simply disappearing starts to feel like a relief. It may start as a casual comment. I just wish I wasn't here right now. But those words are never casual for the person saying them. They are a cry from a heart that is exhausted from carrying too much. And often, the fear is not of living, but of feeling this relentless weight for one more day. This is a sign that the struggle has gone too far to ignore. 2. Feeling like life is not worth living. Depression can whisper terrible lies. Nothing will ever get better. You're a burden to everyone around you. Life isn't meant for you. When a person feels life isn't worth living, they stop seeing meaning in even the small joys. The light of hope dims. The energy to try disappears. Every day feels heavier than the last. It's not laziness. It's not weakness. It's a mind and heart that are pleading for help. 3. Thoughts of self-harm or suicide. These are the most critical warning signs. When someone starts thinking about harming themselves or ending their life, the inner pain has reached a point where words are no longer enough. These thoughts are not attention-seeking, they are life-threatening cries for help. Every moment they wrestle with these thoughts is a battle for survival inside their own mind. If you recognize this in yourself or in someone you care about, please understand this is urgent. Reach out, call, talk, seek help immediately. You are not alone in this fight, and there are people and resources ready to help you carry the weight. Depression may try to convince you that you are alone in the dark. But even in the darkest night, a single light can guide you home. Reach out, speak up. You are not alone, and your story is not over yet. I see you. I hear you. Even when no one else does, your pain is real, and it matters. You are not weak for struggling. You are human, and there is hope even when it feels impossible. Depression tries to steal your strength, your joy, your purpose. But surviving today, even quietly, is proof that you are stronger than you know. Hold on, seek help. Fight for yourself. You are worth every effort. Behind every smile, there may be a storm. Behind every silence, a battle being fought. But even the fiercest storm eventually passes. And even in the silence, hope can be found. If you recognize these signs in yourself, or see them in someone you love, don't wait. Don't brush it off. Reach out. Speak to someone. Your life is precious, and help is real.